advocates who are advocating on their behalf. For example, the national average for foster youth that are graduating from high school, less than 50%. But with the CASA, 77% will graduate high school. And I am pleased to say that this year, all of our seniors that are in the high desert area are on target for graduating high school. And that is a huge thing. For some, they're the first generation to graduate high school. We have currently on our wait list over 200, and in the high desert, we have over 50. What we are encouraging you to do is support us for 2019 and 2020. We want to improve the educational outcomes for youth that are in foster care in the Victorville area. We plan to host more trainings. We want to reduce the number of kids that are on our wait list so that they would be paired with an advocate that can help them improve not only the quality of life that they have, but to change their legacy to a positive life. Our goal is to serve a minimum of 28 youth through the appointment of a CASA. Again, we have met every goal that we stated the last 3 years with your support. For 2016, 2017, and 2017, and 2018, and 2019, and 2018 and 2019, we've met our marks, our benchmarks, our goals. And we are thankful for your partnership, and we are looking forward to that in the future. Thank you again.
Thank you. Now, Matthew Pegman, and then after Matthew, Maria Reese.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Coughlin. I'm the Executive Director of Moses House Ministries here in Victorville. And we have two applications that we've submitted to CUG this year. The first one is an ongoing collaborative effort that we've been partnering with Rose of Sharon to provide intake and referral services to families with young children here in High Desert. Those intake services open the door for ongoing services such as our parenting education or case management services, which are designed to reduce risk factors for abuse and neglect and stabilize family home environments. We've been providing those collaborative efforts with Rose of Sharon for the past 7 years, and we thank you for that support. We would appreciate consideration for future efforts as the need in the community still continues. The second application is a new collaborative effort with High Desert Homeless Services to provide employment development services through a thrift store that Moses House has been operating. The design of that program is that clients receive on-the-job training in retail, which we understand is fairly entry-level, but many of the families that we're working with have significant gaps in employment. And being able to put some relevant on-the-job experience and some training, even for entry-level, increases their opportunities for securing the gainful employment in rapid time. Collaborating with High Desert Homeless Services enables us to be a little bit more efficient in that program delivery. Whereas at the physical thrift store site, they'll receive the on-the-job training. With High Desert Homeless Services, they'll be able to provide the soft skills, resume development, interview preparation, some financial planning, and different opportunities such as that. The benefit for both our organizations is that it ties, we're closely located in proximity to one another, and we serve similar populations. So families that are residing with High Desert Homeless Services for emergency shelter are able to maximize their employability by benefiting from both services collaboratively. Similarly, for the families at Moses House Ministries with young children that benefit from having some possible child care opportunities provided while they're doing their on-the-job training and getting those extra incentives and opportunities in the interview preparation. So we appreciate your past assistance in these programs and any future consideration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maria Reese, and after Maria, Nikosha.
Good evening, Mayor Garcia and council members. My name is Marilee Reese, and I am the president of High Desert Transitional Living Connection. I first of all want to thank you for your support for the last several years. We really appreciate it. We're looking for support again this year. We have a food pantry, a clothes closet, and we actually work with the emancipated foster youth, the people that are coming out of incarceration, because a lot of them end up homeless, and so we try and direct them for housing, for jobs, for how to dress, et cetera, And during that time, we provide them with food and clothing and necessities. We would like to call to your attention that we've been working with other nonprofits for the last probably 5 years regarding backpacks for kids when they start school in July. And this year, we're looking to do more than we have in the past because there's like over 200 kids that are homeless. They're homeless children that still are going to school, still need backpacks, they still need school supplies. And so we're asking for a little more money this year because we need to fund more than 1,000 backpacks this year. And I know it's not all on us, it's a collaborative effect with other nonprofits, but it will help us to put our portion in to help out. And the other thing is there's so many families. It seems like in California, the cost of living is so high that we are finding more and more people coming for assistance rather than some people getting smaller, it's getting larger. And so we're meeting our goals every year, we're helping people every year, we're exceeding our goals. And so we just want to say thank you for your help, thank you for your assistance, and we hope that you'll fund us again this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Midge Nikosha, and after Midge, Galera Charbonnet.
Usually too short. Hi, my name is Midge Nicosia. I'm the Executive Director for the Victor Valley Community Services Council. We are a very old nonprofit, originally started back in 1956, so we're 63 years old this year. We currently service senior citizens and disabled adults with free programs, and what we've asked the council for this year is support for our transportation program. We provide free transportation to multiple locations for our seniors and disabled adults. It is absolutely free and door to door. We do pick them up at home and bring them to their doctor, to banking, shopping, whether it's they have to have blood work done, or get prescriptions filled. And this facilitates the ability for some of our seniors especially who are homebound and don't get out but are still able to live at home and independent, just need that ability to get from place to place. We help them extend their health care, be able to maintain that continuity of care. I just transported a gentleman on Monday, and I was just set to transport him to the doctor and come back and pick him up and take him home. And he needed to fill a prescription, so we then needed to go and get to Walgreens, and then we needed to wait and come back. So this whole about 3-hour period was just dedicated to getting this person his health care and facilitating the prescriptions that he needed to stay healthy and remain independent in his home. We do this for we provide thousands of trips every year, and about 65% of our clients live in Victorville. While we do service the entire high desert, most of our clients live in Victorville, and we take them from Victorville to the other cities in the high desert. We really appreciate the past funding from the council, which has helped us do home repairs for our seniors. This year, we're asking for funding to support our transportation program and keeping it viable. We do have a donated bus from Victor Valley Transit Authority, which, excuse me, this year we hope to get our brand new bus through Caltrans. It's being built as we speak, hopefully. They're working on it right now. And we're gonna have a brand new, very smooth ride, because right now we're using a bus with over 300,000 miles on it. And our seniors are wholeheartedly enjoying the ride and the conversation that they get and the way they get to meet people on our bus, but they sure like that smooth ride. So as soon as we get that going, we're going to be taking even more clients and hopefully extending our hours of operation. Our second application for the city of Victorville was for a repair to our own building. We own a building in the city of Victorville, downtown here, 7th Street, and we do have a very leaky roof. And in that building, we facilitate multiple meetings, not only for our senior citizens who we go pick up and bring to that building to get them out and socialize, but we allow other nonprofits to use our meeting room and facilitate other types of meetings. We know and communicate with all the nonprofits that are here. Basically, we all work very well together in the High Desert. So any one of these agencies are very worthwhile in supporting. Thank you very much. I apologize I have to leave because I do take care of my elderly mother.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Androleta? And after Androleta, Dolores Williams.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. So I work with San Bernardino Sexual Assault Services, and I've been working in the Victorville office out here with Cassandra Black for the last 2 years. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with our services, we are the Rape Crisis Center for San Bernardino, for the County of San Bernardino. And what we do is we start counseling at the age of 5. We also provide prevention education to community members as well as organizations and within the schools starting at age 3. We provide advocacy services as well as court accompaniment. We also accompany to the police stations as well as hospitals for anyone who has been victimized by sexual assault. And we provide support groups and workshops within the community. And just to briefly speak of some of the highlights that we've been able to accomplish with the funding that you all have been able to give us over the years, we've expanded on our support groups. We've been able, with just the 2 of us working in our office, to get up to 3 support groups in this year. One that we're going to be piloting that's curriculum-based, and we also have one that is ongoing and has proven to be very successful within our clients, with our clients as well as some community members, and our annual summer SAS group. So that's a big accomplishment for us this year. We've also been expanding on our Art of Healing workshops that were only offered within the federal prison for the last 5 years to the women camps. We're now offering that workshop to the men camps as well, which has proven to be successful, as well as within other organizations who have requested our Art of Healing workshops to be represented within their facilities. So that's another big accomplishment we've been able to make over time. As well as there has been a high demand for safety and prevention education for reunification purposes within Children and Family Services, and we have been the requested organization to provide those services to a lot of families who are trying to reunite with their children and with their family members. And so that has been another big success for us to be a referral for Children and Family Services and working that closely with county representatives. So we thank you for that support that we have been getting, because your funding has helped us to have all of these things in line so that we can help our community and help our families reunite and learn about safety and prevention. And this year, of course, April, we're going to have Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so I wanted to put that on last. And we are going to be going out into the community within Victorville and doing everything that we can to promote, to be against sexual violence and to get information out there within the schools and within the communities. So we are going to have a very busy year, and we want to thank you for your continued funding, and we hope that anything that you can give us will continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dolores Williams, and after Dolores, Jimmy Weldon.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. First, I would like to start off by saying thank you. We were the first time recipients last year of this grant, and because of you, we've been able to expand. I also want to say thank you, Mayor, for participating in our event, coming out and touring our facility to see exactly what we do. Councilwoman Blanca Gomez, you've been out to our facilities and have actually done some hands-on cleanup work with us, so thank you very much for that, and we appreciate any participation. Since 2005, Millionaire Mind Kids comprehensive and evidence-based programs have exposed underserved students here in the High Desert to careers that they would not otherwise be exposed to. We partner with educators, businesses, and government are pillars of support. We provide these, initially we provided summer classes, but recently we have expanded our services to year-round programs and after-school programs. Because of the grant that we have received, we have increased our community impact by 20%. So we want to thank you very much for that. And that increase is in the areas of, we have now rolled out a brand new family center where we now have parent education as well as children's education, helping parents to navigate their students through success pathways. We believe strongly that when we empower youth and families in our community, we empower the whole communities. And we also strongly believe that parents own their student successes. So families, students, community, we all are the pillars of support to ensure our student success. So we want to thank you for that. Thank you for the expansion. This year, our funding allowed us to graduate 15 high school students. 13 of them was college accepted, 2 went to the workforce, and 1 to the military. That is significant. And again, we serve students across the high desert. 75% are Victorville residents. Thank you very much, and if there are some questions, I'd love to be able to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you. Jamie Waldron, and after Jamie, Inger Robertson.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, forgive me, I'm a little under the weather today. I spent most of the time at the ER. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Jimmy Waldron. I am the Executive Director for High Desert Homeless Services, and I would like to thank you for your support throughout the years. As many of you know, HDHS is the only family homeless shelter in the High Desert. Our 55-bed shelter is a 90-day program that empowers homeless men, women, and children to regain their independence. We provide everything an individual needs, including 3 hot meals a day, plus case management, which includes an employment specialist that helps with applications, resumes, interview skills. Each year, we try to increase our program services so that our clients can be successful in returning to our communities as productive members of society. 2 years ago, we started our shelter family daycare to remove the barriers that single parents had towards finding employment. Last year, we started our Ride for Success program, where we started giving rides to and from interviews and for employment for our clients. This year, we have applied for and will be receiving HEAP funding to purchase a multi-passenger vehicle van to do outreach in the community and to also to provide monies for rapid rehousing to pay deposits and rent for our clients to get them into housing. All these services are provided free to our clients, and they never have to pay back the deposits for the rapid housing funds. Along with the 55-bed shelter, we also have taken on the lead at the Victor Valley Community Warming Shelter. It's a collaborative between several organizations and community volunteers and churches. It's a warm, safe place to stay during cold winter months between November and March. It is located at the fairgrounds. This year, we helped over 150 unduplicated Victorville residents who had nowhere else to go. And as many of you guys know, the reason that we started the warming shelter was due to the resident from out in Napa Valley who passed away out in the desert during the cold from hypothermia. We are currently closed this year due to unforeseen issues with some of our location. We just closed on Friday. But hopefully with CDBG funding, we will be able to finalize making a more permanent solution to help our community's most vulnerable residents. Along with a lot of residents that were at the warming shelter, we have 5 families who got into permanent housing, and we have 3 families who are currently waiting to be put into permanent housing. And we also were able to provide additional services for some of the guests that we had at the warming shelter and getting them into other programs so that they can get back on their feet. Thank you for your continued service.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Inger Robertson, and after Inger, Mark Graham.
Hello, Council. We also want to thank you very much for all your support of A Better Way, the Victor Valley Domestic Violence. We have a 25-bed shelter. We had 13,000 meals over and over 8,800 safe nights for children and families. Our values are empathy, education, and empowerment. We offer temporary restraining order clinics at the courthouse on Fridays and anytime people need it coming into the office. In our education center, we have peer support, victim impact, youth life, anger and parenting, anger management and parenting, and our newest offering is couples count, and that's for any couple that knows that they didn't have good samples, and if you don't know what different looks like, different ways to move forward in having a different life. We also, the most exciting thing recently is we had a reunion that had over 65 people. People who've been there from 10 years ago to 1 year ago speak to those that are in the shelter now with encouraging words. They also wrote messages that are going to go in the shelter to encourage anybody who comes through the year. So you help us continue those kind of efforts in this valley. We had over 150 people alone in February that we assisted, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mark Ram, and after Mark, Nicole Williams.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Mark Ram. I'm the pastor of Abundant Living Family Church, High Desert, and I'm representing the New Hope program. Our program has consisted of 3 different phases. Phase 1, we were helping serve individuals coming out of incarceration from the High Desert Detention Center. So we were serving and working with the Sheriff's Department behind the courthouse, and when they were released in the middle of the night, we would help them get home safely and provide a taxi cab ride for them. We have serviced 13,497 individuals coming out of jail in our first phase. Our second phase is called New Hope, and we've been able to partner with the Sheriff's Department, Public Health, and Behavioral Health, and we were able to eliminate the uncoordinated drop-offs of people that are getting out of jail. They were getting dropped off in Old Town Victorville, so we partnered with the sheriff. We were able to eliminate that. Some of our progress for that, in the last 3 months, we've transported over 1,975 individuals from the High Desert Detention Center. 347 of them were arrested for public intoxication, but the important number is 275 of them, when they got released from jail, were actually transient and they were unsheltered, and we're serving them. We have a fleet of 6 vehicles that run pretty much 24 hours a day. We go to the detention center at 6 a.m., 11 a.m., 6 p.m., and 11 p.m. And we go to Barstow, we go down the hill, and we transport people in the High Desert. We handed out 1,847 bags of food on the bus to help them, and we've driven over 29,000 miles in the last 3 months. That's the equivalent of driving across the United States 10.5 times. So we're excited about that. And then phase 3, we have applied for funding. So you funded everyone else, please fund me too. So phase 3 is going to be our Sleep Safe Center, and we want to have a center that's open in the evening for people to be able to sleep and get connected to public health and behavioral health resources. But mainly when we transfer people from the jail that need 24 to 48 hours sometime just to lay their head down and get themselves back together for free, we want to open up a center that does that and connect them to services. And then in the morning, we can connect them to public health, behavioral health, or they can do some community service work in the High Desert, cleaning up areas that have some blight and different things going on. So once again, I'm begging for some money. Thank you.
Thank you. Nicole Williams, and after Nicole, Rocio Garcia.
I noticed I need to ask for money. Anyways, my name is Nicole Williams Archery, and I am the founder and director of operations for A Core Solution. And we founded in 2014, just a couple of moms deciding that we wanted to be a change in our community. And so our parents were residents and we're community influencers. And we help individuals and families that are facing utility shutoffs. We decided to look at the life situations that drew into our organization. And so we asked the questions like, what brought you here? Was it a relationship separation? Was it a job loss? What opportunities could we provide that would be of support that your families won't have to suffer any longer? And so our service model looks like this. We assist directly and indirectly with utility assistance. We provide life coaching and mentoring through workshops and individual one-on-one counseling sessions. We also provide resource referral. A Core Solution, we're a fast-growing nonprofit. We've already been making a community impact with the numbers to back it up. Our first year, we served 300 individuals, and in our second year, we served 600 families. And in 2018, we assisted an astonishing number of 19 individuals and families facing utility service termination. And
And the number of individuals and families is pretty telling, considering that we don't receive any government assistance. We are 3 moms, and we individually invest in our own organization, but we need help. And so we decided to partner with an organization that I know you're familiar with, St. John of God Healthcare Services, has come alongside of us, and we're going to ask for a sizable donation so we can increase our reach. Currently, we only help with utilities like electricity and gas, but we're seeing a high number of calls for water assistance right in the Victorville area. So what we'd like to do is extend our reach to provide water assistance for services that have been terminated or in jeopardy of being terminated. So I just thank you all so much for your time and for you to consider us a core solution in our collaborative effort with St. John of God Healthcare Services.
Thank you. Rocio Garcia, and after Rocio, Thomas Douglas.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rocio Garcia, and I am founder and vice president at Core Solution. Now, just a little correction. In 2018, we helped 900 families. So our slogan states, "Love starts at the door," and it does for everyone we serve. So we believe in the Chinese proverb that says, "Feed a man a fish, and you'll feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, and you'll feed him for a lifetime." So at Core, we have a unique assistance model that before benefits are given to any of the clients, they are required to go through a 45-minute literacy class. So we don't just provide them with what they need, the help to pay their bill, but we give them resources and information so that they can go through life and try to make a difference in their financial situation. So we give them the mandatory class, leaving them with the beneficiary informed on budgeting and how to save on their electricity, gas, and water bills. We want our clients to increase the opportunity of financial success. Our genuine interest in our clients' well-being prompted us to offer solutions to the root cause of the financial woes they were suffering from. In 2019, we look forward to collaborating with St. John of God Healthcare Services to offer help and hope to no to low-income families. We look forward to meeting more people who share the same passion of helping others as we do. With many people working towards the same goal, it is not out of our realm of possibility to think someday we can help together. We can come together to end issues like homelessness. Like the saying goes, 2 heads are better than one, and there is power in numbers. And we do collaborate and refer a lot of the nonprofits that are here tonight, which are really, really wonderful. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thank you. Thank you guys for your time, and thank you all for everything that you guys do.
Thank you. Thomas Douglas, and after Thomas, Kelly Maxwell.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and all council members. I would like to thank all of you for giving me the forum to express our gratitude on behalf of the Brothers of St. John of God, St. John of God Healthcare Services, and Samaritan Helping Hands. Also for the council's continued support in the years past and the consideration of this year's award, allowing the opportunity for us to promote our core values of hospitality, respect, and healing to all who reside in our community. It is because of solution-driven bodies like yourself that we are able to make a noticeable impact in our community, being of service and staying true to our motto of doing good to yourself by doing good to others. As a result of your support, Samaritan Helping Hands, we are able to provide, on average, 300 people and families with enough resources to prevent a person from going unfed, unsheltered, unclothed, or losing vital necessary utilities. And through collaboration with the ladies of ACOR, we anticipate that those numbers are going to increase even more. We anticipate a continued and increased success in the further positive outcomes in the lives of people we serve which is only possible through your continued support and the support of our local businesses. And through the Working Recovery Program, we have been able to return people who have been stricken with the stigma of alcoholic or addict back into the workforce. And not only that, but we've actually contracted with some of the local businesses who actually believe in our vision, and want to give our part, the people that we see a second chance. And I'm very proud to say that we've contracted with about 10 or 12 local businesses who do contact our agency looking for people to put back to work. It's made a really big impact so far, and we hope that other local businesses can jump on board.
You have 30 seconds.
I'm sorry?
You have 30 seconds.
The Working Recovery Program has been so successful since it started that we're even moving or converting the top portion of our Samaritan Helping Hands building to offices where we can do more classes, resume building, and just offer all kinds of services to put people back to work. So, thank you.
Thank you. Kelly Maxwell, and then after Kelly, Lisa Hayes.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm with the Rent a Veterans Project. We help veterans start over. And actually, I started this kind of work in 1991, mostly down the hill. And I was sitting here thinking about what I was going to tell you. I just realized there was a delivery nurse, Kirsten Busto. She retired a few years ago, but I'll bet she delivered half the babies in this room. Her husband was a Vietnam-era vet. He was one of my close friends I grew up with. And he was in trouble. He was homeless up here. They're from Victorville here. He had nowhere to go, and I thought, that can't be. I've been doing this a long time down the hill, nothing up here. And I looked around, and there was nothing here. Well, I took him down the hill and tried to get him in some places. Other than the bar stuff. And I'm thinking veterans should be able to go somewhere in the Victor Valley for housing or something. And they have the vet center, the vet clinic, they got the VA. And so there's no housing for them and nowhere for really a place to start over if they're homeless. This usually involves alcohol and drugs. Anyway, tragically, Jerry, while he was homeless, through one of his cycles, was bit by a West Nile virus mosquito, and he developed something called Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Anyway, he's in a locked unit. He can't leave. He's taken care of. He's okay. But it was sad that he would go through this cycle, and he was a personal friend of mine. Been doing this work for a long time. Anyway, found a house, bought the house. My sister and I bought it, inheritance. In 2012, we opened in 2013. We've been at it for quite a while now. Quick shop, we get about not less than 30, but up to 50. It's a low volume veterans a year. Most of them are needing to start over. It doesn't matter the status about their discharge paperwork. I don't know how much you know about veterans, but if they were deployed, redeployed, they start drinking, they pick them out, they have no benefits. That can usually get reinstated, but it takes 6 months to a year. And we find about 75% of them do get reinstated. Anyway, it's a long process. We're here to help the veterans. We're associated with every veteran organization up here that I can think of. And including the Hope team. And Hope team has been tremendous. Actually, we're really honored. If you look at the 2015 annual report for the Sheriff's Department, yours truly is in that picture. And I think for probably a couple of weeks, we stopped homelessness for veterans only. That's what they claim.
Your
It
time
was
is
an
up.
honor. Pardon me?
Your time is up.
Oh, thank you very much. And I want to thank Ms. Gomez for coming out to see our place. I've got very poor vision, so I can't really see.
Your time is up. I'm
Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you very much.
Lisa Hayes? Not gonna see.
Can you hear me okay? Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Lisa Hayes. I'm with Rolling Start. We are the Center for Independent Living in San Bernardino County. We have been serving individuals in Victorville since 1977. The CBDG grant that we are asking for funding for this year is to do a program called Living Well with a Disability. Individuals with disabilities, as you know, have oftentimes are challenged with access to certain health services, access to transportation. Our Rolling Start does advocacy, peer support, and a lot of really good things to help people, employment, get them back into the community. Living Well with Disability believes there's a strong connection between health and your ability to achieve your goals. We strongly believe that if we can get some people through this program, which we've done successfully in San Bernardino County, that we're going to see more people with disabilities out working, more people with disabilities involved in the community, housed, and have a lot more quality of life. What makes Rolling Start unique than many organizations is that we serve, we are an organization with 51% of our employees are people with disabilities themselves. We are a cross-disability organization, serve anywhere from physical disabilities, mental health, cognitive developmental disabilities, and our board of directors also is 51% of people with disabilities. We have a slogan called "Nothing About Us Without Us." We believe that our services should be by and for people with disabilities, and we would love the opportunity to be able to do this in Victorville. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those were all the cards that I had. At this time, I close the public hearing.
Didn't I read that this is to be continued, this public hearing? Maybe I didn't. I just was thinking it was to be continued to the next meeting.
Not this one,
Not
this
this
is
one?
a no action item.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
So there's no need for a motion or a second. So we move on to our next item. Item B2. Case number plan 18-0053. A public hearing to hear arguments for and against an amendment to Title II and Title 16 of the Victorville Municipal Code. Madam Clerk, read the recommendation.
That the City Council find municipal code amendment exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to CEQA Section 15061, introduce ordinance numbers 2388 and 2389 for adoption and first reading by title only, and waive further reading and for proposed ordinance numbers 2388 and 2389.
Thank you. At this time, I will ask the council members if they have any questions of staff, and I will start with Councilmember Jones.
Madam Mayor, thank you.
I would like to ask a question. In regarding to the municipal code amendment, is it a question of definition in that the city manager is going to be now quoted as being an equal-sized development individual? In other words, because of the lack of one, we are replacing him by doing, that he will be doing the job rather than someone else. Is it a question of just a new duty for the city manager regarding the change of the code?
I can answer that. Yes, so the code largely, Title 16 largely spoke to a title that no longer exists in our organizational structure. So as to simplify things going forward, and similar to how we do it in a lot of other sections of the code, we've replaced that particular title with city manager or designee. So in this particular case, my designee over the development-related matters would be the deputy city manager.
Is that considered an additional duty for you? Or is it also already within your definition of city manager?
It's within my role as city manager, and I delegate the authority, and as the authority has been delegated to a newly created deputy city manager, since the organizational changes took place about a year ago, we made sure to incorporate those responsibilities into this deputy city manager.
Thank you.
I have no questions for
Ms. Gomez?
Yes, so the city administration is asking the council to adopt resolution 19-011, ordinance numbers 2388 and 2389 for the purposes of modifying only subsections of Title II and Chapter 5 of Title 16. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Or if I'm missing anything else, any other titles, any other chapters, because first I presumed that it was merely the entire Title 16, which affects how probably Mr. Webb commissions or gives information to our planning commissioners and how they would view the entire Title 16. You're seeing it's only one chapter and one title. It doesn't do the entirety of everything.
Yeah, what's shown to you in the proposed ordinances, it shows a strike through and underline of what the new text would be. So we're not by any means replacing the entire title. That's just making slight modifications within that title.
And I think the city manager kind of answered the question, but it wasn't for me, so I wasn't quite paying much attention. But the reasoning for changing these two titles were for what reasons?
The changes to the titles are titles, code titles, so Title II and Title 16. And so in some cases it was related to changing and making consistency with who's responsible for effectuating the code, which is what I just spoke to, changing the development director to the city manager and or its designee. There's also other code-related changes, more so responsive to state law changes where the state has actually influenced the building code to make it easier, and development code to make it easier for accessory dwelling units. So those effectively are the larger part of the changes, dealing with addressing that, making sure our code is compatible with that, and then of course regulating areas where we still have jurisdiction to regulate.
Okay, and then one other question. I'm assuming that there are training courses that the supervisorial and the management, along with staff and the employees, are able to either, whether it's internal and external, is that correct? Or I'm just presuming that that should take an effect, whether it's yearly, bi-yearly, every 5 years, in terms of, because you're getting new planning commissioners coming, and I want to make sure that the incoming of these officers understand that they're getting training. It's not just what they hear at the dais and exchange that information.
Yeah, we did provide training last year. There was 2 training opportunities. We did unfortunately miss a training opportunity that's happening as we speak. But due to the timing of the new commissioners coming on, we were unable to make that, to reserve it before it sold out. We do have future training opportunities for them, hopefully within this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think this are all the questions. At this time, I open the public hearing. And I do not have any speaker cards. Oh, there's one that just arrived. A.J. O'Connell.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. It's A.J. O'Connell, Victorville, California. I strongly encourage the City Council to adopt these changes into the ordinance, into the development code, that will allow for a small remedy for the housing crisis that we have here in Victorville by creating affordable options for families within our city. I do wish to caution the City Council in this particular matter, especially when we're coming to the building code requirements. Let's try not to waive the building code requirements in these particular situations. The building code is developed in order to ensure fire and life safety, regardless of zoning, regardless of uses. I just would want to make sure that we keep an eye out for that. But overall, I encourage the council to adopt this ordinance as swiftly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that was the last card. At this time, I close the public hearing. Therefore, I need a motion and a second to introduce and waive reading of ordinance numbers 2388 and 2389.
Yes, Madam Mayor, so I move that the council take action in accordance with the recommendations set forth on the agenda. Second.
At this time, I'll read the ordinance titles. Ordinance number 2388, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Victorville relating to various amendments to Title II and Title 16 of the Victorville Municipal Code, including but not limited to administration, accessory dwelling units, accessory structures, site plan application, and land use within the environmental extension. Ordinance number 2389, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Victorville relating to various amendments to Title 16, Chapter 5, of the Victorville Municipal Code, including but not limited to administration, permit expiration, inspections, and timing of development impact fee payment with environmental exemption.
Thank you.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones and a second by Councilmember Gomez. Is there any further comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Now we move on to item B3, a public hearing to hear arguments for and against approving a monitoring program for the Arrowhead Drive and 7th Avenue Streets project. Madam Clerk, read the recommendation.
That the City Council adopt resolution number 19-011 approving the mitigated negative declaration and monitoring program for the Arrowhead Drive 7th Avenue Streets project.
Thank you. At this time, I will ask council members if they have any questions of staff.
Oh, wait, you can start. So, I have several questions when you get to me.
Ms. Deborah, you have to read Mr. Fox.
Who is David Evans and Associate? What do they have to do with this?
David Evans and Associates assisted us with the grant application. So they prepared some preliminary plans that we used in the grant application that was for the active transportation program grant.
In the write-up, we talk about the complete street, but we don't have right-of-way for several areas. I'm assuming we don't have right-of-way. We didn't last time we checked. Do we have right-of-way for this project?
There are some small slices of right-of-way that we need, but generally we have all the right-of-way we need for the project, except there are some small slices north of Nisqually Road. But generally we have all the right-of-way we need for the project.
I had inquired on Arrowhead, I inquired about the right-of-way on the northeast corner of Arrowhead and Nisqually. It is Nisqually. Because we have 3 overhead lines all by themselves there. We required the right-of-way there, and undergrounding will be part of the project.
Right-of-way is only needed for one lot. It would only be needed for a sidewalk. And we've been coordinating with Edison to establish some kind of an underground program, but we don't have all the information back yet. And so once we have more information, if it looks feasible, we could proceed with that. But that's going to require some more analysis on our part.
Going north on Arrowhead, approaching Yates Road, it narrows to 2 lanes. We have right-of-way there where the house is to be moved and everything?
We do. Actually, there's adequate right-of-way along that stretch going all the way to Yates Road.
Thank you.
Ms. Gomes?
Yes, this question is for the city attorney, just making sure that there's no need for recusal, especially if we have property or we have any type of vested interest in the discussion or particular votes. Would that be the case for anyone at the dais?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody has property in close proximity to this Arrowhead Drive. I'm not aware of anybody having property in close proximity to it. If you do, then it would be appropriate to recuse yourself.
Then my other question, if the city engineer would contextualize it within the street project, how does the negative declaration affect the impact or facilitate CEQA, the requirements, and any future appeals that could come in? I know there's a reporting in the back that says there should be none, but there's always appeals coming forth to city council, so I beg to differ.
Okay, well, so this initial study in mitigated negative declaration has mitigation measures and monitoring measures. So all the potential impacts from us constructing the project are mitigated to less than a significant level. And so that's what this document documents regarding the, I think you might be referring to a statute of limitations that applies after the document is approved. And I can't remember what that time frame is. I'm not sure if the city attorney remembers.
Yeah, usually you have 30 days to challenge CEQA findings and determinations.
Okay.
Thank you. No further questions.
Anyone else? No? Thank you. At this time, I open the public hearing, and I do not have any speaker cards. Therefore, I close the public hearing, and I request a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 19-011.
Madam Mayor, I move that the council take action in accordance with the recommendations set forth on the agenda.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Gomez. Any further comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Now we move on to consent calendar. Consent calendar items C1 through C5 may be approved with one motion unless the council member requests an item be pulled for further discussion.
Yes, I'll be commenting and questions on items C1 through C4.
Does Madam Mayor invite a motion?
I'm sorry, Ms. Jones.
I'm sorry, do you invite a motion at this time?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the council and or the board, the council and the board of directors take action in accordance with the recommendations set forth on item C5. And the remainder of C1, 2, 3, and 4 will be removed for separate discussion.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Mayor Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
So if I may, C1, Venus, if you would please, city manager, the appropriate staff member, brief the city council and our audience as to relations in reporting the contract. So hear me well, if you don't understand my question, please, I don't mind repeating it. I'm thinking about Palo Alto Hickory, mid-power solar systems, and the newest California state laws that talk about our sources of energy and the requirements of cleanliness. So if you can please contextualize the Venus reporting and how it fits in with a lot of the three issues that I've already named.
Thank you, Councilmember Gomez and members of the council. Item C1 is your standard quarterly operating results report for the second quarter of fiscal year ending 2019. And very generally speaking, what that report does show is for the months of October, November, and December of 2018. It does summarize your electric sales and your natural gas sales at two locations where we sell those utility services, both in Foxborough and at the airport. At least Foxborough and the airport in the case of electricity, natural gas only at CLA. Altogether on the electric side, what it's showing you is year over year for that quarter sales on the electric side are relatively flat. Your peak demand for both about 22,000 megawatt hours, and about 4% of your total sales volume came from generated source at the Hoover Dam. Natural gas sales, this is generally your peak time for sales because they're the colder months. Year over year, you saw 7.3% increase just on the net gas sales out at the airport. I think speaking to the comment or question, I should say, as to Palo Alto, I think the relationship is best summarized. We don't have a relationship with Palo Alto, but I think your comments are more speaking towards what we characterize as our renewable portfolio standard obligations, whereas municipal utility, we have a number of obligations that meet threshold requirements. We're in our electric portfolio. We have to have a certain percentage of renewable energy sources. We're currently working towards that, and in fact, some of the items that you've seen recently, particularly with Hecate as an example, are transactions where we are actually working towards procuring those renewable energy sources so that we can meet our portfolio standard requirements set forth by the state of California.
Did you also include the solar power that we just adopted last meeting?
Yes.
You just didn't name it, so I wasn't sure. I wasn't going to guess work, but if you incorporated, I appreciate it. For the next one, C2, this item asks for City Council to approve a payroll demand schedule for approximately $1.2 million, which includes vendor checks for July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019. My two questions are, what percent is the bi-weekly item impacting the city's budget yearly and based on the last 5 years, and at what rate? So in other words, what I'm looking at is the last 5 years, how has the payroll been affecting our budget in terms of clearly growing, or because we have had so many years of furlough days and our hourly employees are not working on Fridays, how has that been affecting our budget? I don't know, we don't have a bar graph to look at the increase or the effectiveness of our employees.
And what you're asking right now is something better served, we can specifically come back with. We don't have that information readily available, but we can go into the system and provide some of that data for you, the last 5 years trend information.
I would appreciate that. That same question is for item C3. The City Council is being asked to approve approximately $3.5 million for a 2-week period for last month's expenses. And so the same thing, what percentage of the bi-weekly amount impacting the city's budget, how has it affected yearly, what rates, what percentages, and how has it increased over our city's budget? So that's the same question. You don't have to answer it, but I would gladly receive information.
I'll just state that's a little bit more difficult to provide in relation to this item. This is speaking to the commercial demand schedule, and certainly what you've got here largely is going to be working within your adopted budget. So a little bit different than the personnel question that you asked.
So can we presume that because the city's growth in the last 5 years, clearly we're expecting more because the city is growing at a much, whether it's faster or slower pace, so that's what I'm trying to garner.
We can put some trend data together for you to show you what's occurred over the last 5 years in total spending.
I appreciate it. You can provide counsel that. Thank you. For C4 is the quarterly investments. Please, when responding to my increase, consider Fitch, Moody's, and Standard & Poor's ratings. So that's to contextualize. This is probably for George. What is the city's current rating after the settlement with the federal lawsuit that cost our taxpayers over $19 million? My second one is, how we assess this area in terms of bond loans, risks, and investment. And that's how I would like the question of this to be responded.
So, Madam Mayor, City Council, I just want to draw the connection between the question and the item.
Could you speak up just a little, please?
I want to draw a connection between the questions and the item that's being presented. So what you have on item C4 is the quarterly investment report, which details how the city's cash is invested, not related to the bond portfolio, which is a report of the city's debt. And so there's really no connection between this investment report, which shows you how our cash is invested, and the actual debt or anything that has to do with the SEC investigation.
So, I spent a couple of moments today looking at our transparency with our budget, and I was looking at revenues versus our cash outs for the last 2-3 years. And I noticed that we significantly, for the last 4 years, fallen into a minor debt, but then caught up last year, and then this year we have the trending again that's declining. So when I created this question is to look at the overall health of the city, and I figured bonds and investments would be the best way to look at the health of the city of Victorville.
We can talk better offline on that, but when you're looking at the city's financial health, what you have seen over the last few years, actually the growing of the fund balance, which is related to this particular item, because you actually see cash being freed up every year, at year end, for the last couple of years, which was identified in the audit results that were just delivered 2 meetings ago, I believe. In addition to that, yeah, you do want to look at credit ratings and all those things. Once again, those items are not listed in this particular report, but I can try to answer those questions for you aside without, because this report's not going to answer those questions, I guess is what I'm saying. So I think I see where you're going with it, and if given an opportunity, I can probably give you different information that will give you a better picture of what the city's financial health is.
Thank you. Now, I moved to adopt calendar items C1 through C4.
So I'll second that with a caveat that it's action by the council and or the board of directors.
Motion by Councilmember Gomez, seconded by Councilmember Jones. All those in favor? Aye.
So I have a question. I'm presuming that Councilmember Jones' intent was to modify the actual motion, but if you wouldn't mind.
There was a caveat, but I can certainly make a substitute motion.
So would you explain your interpretation of what your caveat was, because it wasn't clear to me?
Just with the general understanding that it's the board of directors and or the council taking the action. It's clearly posted on the agenda. I just wanted to say it out loud. It's not necessary to make a substitute motion amendment.
I see. Thank you. That clarity was important to me to understand what it is that you were doing today in today's action.
You bet.
Motion made by Councilmember Gomez, seconded by Councilmember Jones. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Now we move on to written communications. Item D1, council member attendance at 2019 City County Conference. Madam Clerk, read the recommendation.
That the City Council authorize official business travel to the 2019 City County Conference for all council members in the total amount of $1,959.65 for registration, hotel, and parking.
Thank you. Are there any questions of council members, of staff at this time? Anyone have any questions? No?
Yes, I have quite a few. So for D1, there's comments and questions. Does the city of Victorville have a budget allocated of a limit of $1,200 per council member? I'm sure it is, yes, and this is not a part of it. In regards to policy and attendance at the League of Cities, I know this is not talking about the League of Cities, but this is talking about allocations of funding for council members. What is the purpose of a continual membership of traveling if it's not going to be approved for a council to be able to attend? We're spending $27,000 on a membership plus more. The budget provides for travel-related categories where there are identified amounts, and the policy manual requires for all travels, irrespective of approval, to come back to the council. And so it requires the approval of every one of us here, or at least the majority. And would this also include something like the League of Cities, for instance? So for example, the city pays roughly $27,000 for a membership to California League of Cities, in which council members and privileged administration, along with a few others, attend and ask for allocations, but yet they're not allocated. So Councilmember Cox, on many occasions, particularly this year and last year, stated that the city of Victorville did not pay for committees and anything outside of the city business. Yet today, again, it is demonstrated that those statements are unfactual and ignorantly stated to fool the masses. Why should it take a majority to want something, but the same majority does not stop any rights under the same policies? For instance, recall the last two general meetings, I asked to agendize events hosted by Alita cities, but none was seconded. So it just bothers me that we're double playing stuff. I'm not saying I don't agree with today, but I do agree with the disagree with the processes.
I would recommend the council not discuss a lot of those issues because they're not agendized. This is a very limited discussion regarding funding for the 2019 City-County Conference. To the extent there's a further discussion, that would be unfair to the public because those items are not listed or discussed on the agenda item.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do not have any speaker cards at this time. And I move to authorize council to attend the conference with the exception of Councilmember Gomez due to her continued disregard of council policy and procedures. I need a motion and I second.
I create a substitute motion to include all council members, because what you would be doing is you would be bringing discrimination against the city, and this is not fair for a taxpayer. You can't just arbitrarily do stuff like that. You're setting a precedent, and I know that the city attorney has been following it greatly, so I would like for you to comment as well.
I don't see any indication of discrimination with respect to the current motion on the table.
So then what you're saying is okay for the council members, 4 of them, to exclude me because they feel that they have the power to exclude me, Mr. Attorney?
I haven't seen any vote on the discussion yet. That's premature.
You haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
But
There has not been any action on this
Well,
item.
when and if it takes action, I would like for your legal opinion to be imported. Thank you.
I need a motion. Well, I made the motion. And second by
I still need a second on Councilmember Gomez. Is there a second?
I second it.
So there was There is a motion made by Councilmember Gomez, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez. All those in favor?
What is that motion?
The motion. This is on the substitute motion, that all council members attend.
Correct.
And that was moved by Councilmember Gomez and seconded by Tim.
I make the motion.
I'm sorry, would the clerk read the motion and the second that's before the council for the vote this instant?
There was a second motion made, that's the one on the floor right now. Councilmember Gomez, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez for all council to attend the city county conference. I have not taken a vote on the first motion yet.
Do we have discussion on the second?
Is there any further comments?
I have comments.
Okay.
I was trying to follow the League of California Cities that I attended. The city didn't pay for that, I paid for that. In this motion here for Lake Arrowhead, this is a city-county conference. It's different than the League of California Cities. Certainly the mayor pro tem needs to attend those. I think our new council needs to attend. I'll make it easy. I don't need to attend. If I do, I'll pay my own way, as I usually do. We don't point that out a lot. But this is an important meeting for those 3 members of the council. And the only reason that it's difficult, within the council meeting, you said you would never represent the city. Those are your words. You will not represent the city. You represent the voters. You will not represent the city. Why would you go to a meeting if you refuse to represent the city? I can't support you to go to a meeting and represent some other point of view. And we have a policy that says that the support or the position of the city is the mayor and the council, or the whole council. If you agree to do that, I think you should go to the meeting. But as long as your position is you will not represent the city, I don't think you should be there. I think it's just should. So that's my comment.
Madam Mayor.
Excuse me, can we have a point of clarification here of what is being said? looking at D1, it states for all council members. So where is the problem? Where's the conflict of interest here? If there is, can you please clarify it for me?
I believe there was a motion prior to that, that it was instead of having all council members go, it was to have 4 council members attend. Then there was a substitute motion made to basically consider all council members going, and that is the motion that's before the council right now.
So I have a point of clarification then. If we have something on the agenda, why are we discussing something totally different that's not on the agenda? And as legal recourse, why aren't you being the legal standing point and saying this agenda item, if it doesn't pass, we can add to the agenda to exclude a council member, bring it into discussion, because as our discussion sits, we are not telling the people what we're discussing right now, because this is all council members. So what we need to do to make matters, I'm not the legal representative here, Mr. DeBornowski, but I do believe that your job has unfortunately failed ever so slightly, but by not keeping council in order, saying that this is what we're talking about. If we want to add to the agenda and not pass this one, that is the way that we should do about it. And I don't hear you speaking to any of that regard. I don't understand why.
Well, Ms. Gomez, I respectfully disagree with you. Right now, the recommendation before the council is to consider whether or not to fund all members going. Any council member can make a modification to that and submit a motion that differs from that. It's related to the exact same subject matter. Totally appropriate.
Madam Mayor, I have a question for you. Thank you so much. So, so that we're all very clear as to this item, could we have just a very brief breakdown as to the importance of this particular conference, and particularly for the newer members and the mayor?
Madam Mayor and members of the council, if I might, I've attended this event a couple times representing the city, and it's an opportunity certainly for not only Victorville representatives to go, but also to be among all the other representatives within the county. So you get an opportunity to, of course, network and work with your peers in other communities. But they also have an agenda that is largely educational as to things going on in the county, issues that are of particular interest to the county, and allows you also, in some cases, see best practices from some of your peers as to how they're tackling or handling issues in their community.
Thank you. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
So the substitute motion is for all 5, and the motion was made by Councilmember Gomez, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That motion fails.
We now go back to the first motion. Is there a second on the first motion?
The motion was made by Mayor Garcia that 4 attend. Is there a second?
I'm happy to second it.
And that motion is clear that the 4 individuals are the mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, you, Councilmember Jones, and Mr. Cox. I assume you still are going, assuming that motion goes?
If I can represent the city and help, I will go. If I feel it's important that I should be there, I'll pay my own way. I don't think anybody should spend the taxpayers' money if they refuse to represent the city. It's a very simple way to look at it.
And then it would probably be appropriate to include in that motion that the funding be adjusted accordingly.
So then the funding should not exceed what is currently here.
That's correct. So, for clarification, I believe the motion before the council right now is for 4 council members to go and to adjust the funding set forth on the agenda accordingly.
Yes.
I have a motion by Mayor Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Jones. Any further comments?
Yes. So for the public that's watching, because I'm also streaming it live myself, like for you to realize that Mr. Cox stated that this was an important meeting for the new ones, meaning the two individuals that were just elected. Or it was important for the mayor and the mayor pro tem to attend. No one else should attend, which is implicit and infers that he and I would not be attending. However, you saw the motion and it's for, because they say they have the power to oust one, because I don't represent the people in terms of the city. Who is the city? You or us five? Think about that when you talk about things like this that are occurring right now. Who do we represent? Do I represent the community outside these four walls, or do I represent four other council members' ideologies? And the same with each individual person that is right here who was elected and is rightfully sitting here. Think about that. Thank you.
I want to respond to that, Madam Mayor, that's just garbage.
No.
These council members are elected to represent the city. And that means everyone in the city, whether they agree with us or not, or whether we agree with them, we represent the city. We take an oath to uphold the laws of the city and the state and federal government. We take the oath. And if we are going to publicly state, we're not going to uphold the oath, we're not going to represent the city, then you shouldn't be at a meeting where the city should be there. That's simply my feeling that why would the taxpayers pay my way to go to a meeting to represent someone against them or against the city? That makes no sense. All you have to do is to swear to the council that you will uphold your oath and you will represent the city. You're on good ground with me.
Well, then I should just make a motion that all council members pay their way in. We don't need to approve this, right? This is what you've just stated, and that's what I understand. That's exactly what you
That
just
is
said.
absolutely not what I stated.
So I'm not going to argue with you, because that's
Well,
not
you are arguing with me.
my position.
Yeah, it is.
But you are welcome to have your opinions. But all I want to state is I don't represent you, Mr. Cox.
No.
Or any other council member.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to this garbage when it's not true. Nobody has asked her to represent the city council. They asked to represent the city.
But you are not the city.
No, I'm not.
130,000 people are.
You're just twisting at a line and you know.
No, you twisted it, and you know it. Mrs. Mayor, there are two people speaking, not just Mrs. Gomez. So as the chair, garner decorum and professionalism for every single council member, not just one person. Please provide that in writing, Mrs. Mayor. Please provide that in writing. And tell me what I have violated 3 times.
It'd be appropriate for a point of order right now to call for the question.
Your power was diminished, Mrs. Mayor.
Okay, there.
Does somebody call the question?
Well, if we call the question, we need to make sure that no one is still wishing to speak. Otherwise, we'll have to take a formal motion and vote on this. And that requires a 2/3 vote. To end discussion. End of discussion.
Motion to call a question by Councilmember Jones. Is there a second?
I did make the motion.
You
but I
did?
will.
Okay.
But I will.
Go to the vote.
Okay. I'm just gonna go to the vote that's on. Mayor Garcia made the motion. Councilmember Jones seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
And would you repeat the motion for the record?
The motion is for the council members to attend the city county conference.
And that's it, right? That's the
And
motion.
funding to be adjusted accordingly.
Oh, thank you. I
That is
appreciate
part
that.
of, because procedurally, someone can't just say, I called a question, and then automatically it ends debate. There's a procedural rule that goes along with doing that. So if someone calls the question, then it's typically what's done is you check to see if there's anybody else still wishing to speak. If there is, then that calling of the question becomes the motion, and it needs to be a second, and then a vote on the calling of the question. If that passes by a 2/3 vote, then you can go on to the actual motion that's on the table.
I totally agree. I didn't, other than me suggesting somebody call the question, I'm not sure anybody called the question. You were willing to make a motion to do that, though, I
I
believe.
did,
Okay.
but then it looks like the vote was actually on the main motion rather than on the calling of the question.
then we should look for a second on the calling of the question motion
Second.
from Councilmember Jones and take that vote.
For the call to question, motion made by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Mayor Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
So
Abstain.
now, since there was this back and forth of what we're talking about, what is happening now? Can you?
There
can you
is a
go over that?
motion, there was a
Right.
motion and a second to call the question, meaning
Okay.
to end debate.
Okay.
And we
And
just
so
took a
now-
vote on that, and 4 people have voted in the affirmative. We have not seen your vote yet on that,
Okay.
to end debate. How do you vote?
Well, I have nothing else to say.
But do you vote yes or no?
So would you mind asking that question so I can respond?
What, how do you vote? Yes or no?
So,
Do you want to end debate?
yes.
Okay, so it's a unanimous vote to end debate. Now we go to the motion on the floor, which has been, the motion's been made and seconded.
So are there any further comments?
No, there can't be, we ended the discussion.
Okay. Sorry. Motion made by Mayor Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Jones. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Abstain.
Motion carries with Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez abstaining and Councilmember Gomez voting no.
Thank you. Now we move on to item D2, correct?
That's correct.
Let the city council consider and appoint a member to serve as the alternate delegate to the Victor Valley Economic Development Authority.
I make a motion to nominate myself.
I make a motion to appoint Deborah Jones. I do not have,
Second your motion.
I do not have any speaker cards at this time.
So the second motion I have for Councilmember Jones to be the alternate, motion made by Mayor Garcia, seconded by Councilmember Cox. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries with Councilmember Gomez voting no.
Now we move on to item D3, discussion regarding a City of Victorville YMCA. Are there any questions from council members of staff at this time? Ms. Ramirez?
I would like to know, I have read that quite a few years ago, the YMCA was considered, however, it was a question of financial support. I personally don't see why the city itself cannot support a YMCA, since it builds character in young people, it provides programs. And so therefore, I feel that we need to have a further discussion and a survey as to what is available. I know that through the parks, there are programs that are served. However, the YMCA is a tradition in that it does build and bring forth a unity with young people who may not necessarily be able to attend parks, but possibly through the YMCA, they will have and receive the needed enhancement, the development of character, the educational programs that will build in them that dignity of being